Hello, I'm Brenda Beshears, President and CEO of Blessing Riemann College of Nursing and Health Sciences. This is a first for us to do a virtual commitment to care, but one of the reasons that we feel this day is so incredibly important is to share with you our strong beliefs in relationships and caring, empathy, and being there for other people. It's not always the people that you meet in the hospital that need some caring on any particular day. It could be one of your peers, it could be one of your faculty members, it could be one of your staff members, it could be one of your administrators. And it is amazing what just a personal hello, how are you, a note that says, I'm thinking of you. And I try whenever somebody comes to my mind, I say a short prayer for them because I feel like they're on my mind for some reason. In addition, we send lots of notes to one another. So I encourage you from the very beginning to not work in isolation, but to use your resources. Let others care for you as you care for others. And as you go into the clinical settings, you will find that it's the little things that you do at the bedside that mean so very, very much. And sophomores, you may think, well, what could I know? What could I do? But you are fresh eyes, you're fresh ears on these units, and you are valuable. And all of the staff are very excited for you to come back, and they know what a difference you make at the bedside with our patients. Our patients often say, I love having student nurses because I get great care and you give them a lot of attention. You give them a lot of that personal care. Thank you for being our student. Thank you for caring for other people. Thank you for moving into a profession that is the most trusted year after year. And you will be amazing nurses. I have every confidence that you will be caring, compassionate providers of care. It's exciting to see where you are now and where you're going to go. So have a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing each of you in the hallways.
Hi, my name is Sarah Pate, and I'm a junior here at Blessing. I also serve as the president of the Student Nurses Organization, also known as SNO. Just a little bit about SNO is it helps to serve the student body, so we host and help with activities such as community blood drives. We also do fundraisers. I know in the past we've done candygrams around Valentine's Day, I think. And we also design Blessing Riemann t-shirts. Our executive committee does that and we sell them. We have open meetings where we bring in a guest speaker and they share valuable information related to healthcare, and we serve really yummy food. In the past we've done walking tacos, we've done donuts, hot chocolate and coffee, and we've done sandwiches and chips. So I know this year might be a little different because of the COVID guidelines, but I promise the meetings will still be very informational and fun and have yummy food. Our first meeting is September 14th at 12:30 here at the college, so we hope to see you all there. And this year, one of our goals for SNO is to branch out into the community. Obviously with COVID guidelines, follow those, but just branch out more into the community through sponsored events, volunteer work, and just to let Quincy know who we are and what we do here at Blessing. So just some housekeeping things. You've probably already heard all the clinical dress code, things like that in orientation, but just as a reminder, here are some of the rules. You need to maintain a clean and well-groomed physical appearance, so your hair needs to be tied back and off the collar. Your shoes have to be clean and closed-toed. You can have 2 sets of earrings that are small post earrings in. No bracelets are allowed. Anklets have to be covered by your scrubs and your socks. Artificial nails and nail polish are not allowed. Scrubs must be clean and wrinkle-free, especially with COVID. You want to make sure that you wash your scrubs after each use. Your name tag has to be above waist level. A lot of people just clip it right up at the top. And then no extra skin can be showing, and your makeup has to be within reason. If you have any questions about clinical dress and lab dress, you can go to the brcn.edu website and look at the student handbook, or you can just ask any instructor and I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. Hopefully by now We have all had lots of practice putting on a mask and taking off a mask, but again, just as a reminder, the mask needs to cover both your mouth and your nose. Whenever you take off the mask, try to take it off by the little ear loops and not touch the front of it. The mask needs to be worn in the college buildings and whenever you cannot socially distance. I know right now they want you to do the mask and the face shield or the mask and the goggles. And then some masks have the little metal bar that you can press and mold down to the bridge of your nose to have a better seal. Some resources that Blessing Riemann offers for students, there are a ton. And then the two that I recommend the most would be peer tutoring and academic advisors. I know I used the academic advisors last year and they helped me a lot. They can give you study tools, study tips, they can help you with time management. I know I used them for getting practice questions before a test. They can give you those just to get exposure to those questions. Especially as a sophomore, I would recommend doing this because you're not used to those type of questions yet. So I recommend using your academic advisors. And then I know in the library you can sign up for an Opens Athens account, and this is where you can access different articles and reading materials. I know this helped me with my when writing papers, trying to find original articles and resources and things like that. So just a few important reminders and advice. Communication this semester is very important, especially when you're sick. I promise you, your professors, your instructors, they love whenever you email them and communicate with them because they need to know if you're sick, and they'll work with you to do makeup days, to do virtual online classes if you need that. So communication is very important. You need to allow plenty of time to go through the screening process before you come into the college. I know there's certain times when a lot of classes are starting, so there may be a lot of people in line, so just give plenty of time for the screening process. And then you need to wipe down your desk before you leave the classroom. I know they have gloves and the bleach wipes located throughout, so just don't forget to do that. And then my advice is to get a planner because it is impossible to remember everything that you have going on. So just my advice again is just get a planner, write it all down, write your due dates down and things like that, and hopefully it'll help you find a good balance in how to time manage. So even though it's not completely normal yet, I'm sure we're all excited to get back into the classroom face-to-face and to be able to participate in clinicals and lab simulation. So I hope you all have a great day, and don't forget to wear your mask.
Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate those kind words, and I appreciate the opportunity just to speak to you guys for a short time, and I'm sure you guys are hoping it's short because this stands between you and graduation. But I just want to speak just a little bit to let you know that I'm proud of you. I've been through your shoes. I know what you've been through, and your parents, I'm sure, are proud of you as well, and I'm sure they're just excited that you're not going to be in their basement living there for the rest of your life. But I am proud of you, and I know that you've been through a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat and tears. I know what goes into graduating from Blessing Riemann. And so when I was thinking about what I could talk about today to convey to you, maybe some words that would encourage you as you move into your career, I couldn't help but think about my kids. And my kids have taught me a lot. I have three kids, 5, 4, and 3. And these are my kids behind me. Yeah, they look cute, but no, they're awesome, and I have a lovely wife, and I'm thankful for all the things that I've been blessed with. But I just couldn't stop thinking about my kids and what they've taught me through the 5 years that they've been around. And starting with Arabella, she's my oldest. And she is your typical oldest child. She is brave, she's eager to learn, she's organized, she's definitely that typical oldest child that just wants to do everything correct. And she puts in the effort, and she always wants to know, so we'll go to bed at night and we're talking, and she wants to know what tomorrow holds. She wants to know what she's going to eat for lunch tomorrow. She wants to plan out her day. And I've learned a lot about being prepared, and I learned that it's important to be ready for whatever comes your way. And you guys have done that. I mean, you've put in that effort. You put in the time to be prepared, and you've worked hard to be where you're at today. And I'm proud of you for that. And I hate to tell you, but you can't quit. You're not done yet. You're going to learn a lot. Your first year, you're going to learn a lot as you transition your role into being a nurse. And I'm excited for that. So then I move on to my second child. This is Bryn. Bryn has high energy, and she is full of joy and happiness, and she makes me laugh. And I'm thankful for that attitude. And you're going to need that when you start your nursing career. You're going to need somebody to enjoy a laugh with. You're going to have a hard time at times. There's going to be patients that are tough. You've been there. You know what I'm talking about. And you're going to need somebody to lift you up. And try to be that person for other people. Try to be that nurse that's encouraging and that can laugh and enjoy your time while you're at work. My third child is Huck, and he looks cute, but don't be confused. He is our terror child. He has been our toughest for sure, and he's frustrating at times for sure. His favorite word is no, and he's 3, so that makes sense. But he has definitely been a handful. And it wasn't too long ago, maybe about a month ago, I'm sleeping, and I wake up, and he's crawling through my legs, and all of a sudden, I felt a warm sensation, and he proceeds to wet the bed. And my wife thought that was great until 2 weeks ago, and he did it on the other side of the bed. And so it was like 2 in the morning, and she spends all this time cleaning up the mattress and cleaning him up and giving him a bath and all that goes into, your kid wetting the bed at 2 in the morning. And she's putting him back to bed, and he's almost ready to fall asleep. And he puts his arms around my wife, and he says those 3 words that mean everything. If you're a mom, you know. He said, "I love you." And it didn't matter that she had spent 2 hours cleaning up his mess that he had just made, and didn't matter that he always says no and that he's frustrating, because he cared, because he showed my wife that he loved her. And I think that's probably the most important thing I can tell you, is when you're in your day-to-day job, is show your patients that you care. Find a way to connect with them. It's so important that you find that common ground with your patient. And last week I had that opportunity. I was out in triage in the emergency department, and I had this lady. She was probably in her 70s, and she came in, and she was pretty sick. She was in a wheelchair, and her daughter was with her. And I was getting her vital signs and asked her a few questions, and we had a few laughs back and forth. And she said, "You remind me of my grandson." And her daughter was a little confused about that. She said, "You mean my son, the one that's 6'5" and over 300 pounds? And she said, "Yeah, that's the one." But I think it had more to do with our character, and I think it had more to do with our relationship. And so she moved on. She went into her room and was being taken care of. And later they asked me to go in and do an IV for her, and I said that's fine. I enjoy doing IVs, but she definitely was a tough stick. I mean, you guys know one of those patients. You go in there and they got spider veins, and there's just not a lot to work with. And so I pick one out, and I'm just sitting there chatting with her, and we're still having a conversation. And while I'm sitting there starting her IV, I just remember thinking, I like this lady. I want this to work. And so I said a prayer, and I said a prayer while I was doing the IV, and I went in successfully, and she said, "Well, I knew it was going to work." I said, "Well, why is that?" She said, "I was praying for you." And so it was just one of those times when you have that moment when you're like, this was meant to be. This is more than just starting an IV. And I sat with her and I said, "Well, I believe in the power of prayer too." And we talked, and I said, "Can I pray with you?" And so I held her hand and I prayed with her and just told her how much, that she told me how much that meant to her. And I told her that I would continue to pray for her and her care there. And I just prayed about the people that would be taking care of her, and that she would be strong. And so she went her way upstairs, and she got admitted. And The next day, her daughter comes and talks to me, and she says, she's found me in the hall, and she said, "You will never understand what that meant to me and what that meant to that patient." And those are the times that we live for. I mean, that's why you guys became a nurse. Yeah, there's other incentives there, but you became a nurse to share your love for other people, to care for other people, and you have to be willing to find those times. And you're going to have a tough schedule. You're going to be busy. You're going to have all these tasks that you're going to have to do, but you need to make sure that you're finding that common ground with your patient and connecting, and that's what really matters. And I'm thankful that I had that opportunity with her. So in closing, I guess I would just encourage you to be like my kids. Be like Arabella, be organized, be prepared, come to work on time. Be like Bryn and have fun. I mean, enjoy what you're doing. Be like Huck and show those around you that you care. Take that time to show them that you care and that you love your patients. In closing, just want to read a verse that has always been important to me, and it's from Jeremiah 29, verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And that's what you guys have. You have a future ahead of you. You've worked hard, you've positioned yourself well, and you have a lot to be thankful for. But you have a hope and a future, and you can share your love and your passion with others. And I hope that you do that as you go forward. Thank you.
Blessing of the Hands is a voluntary, non-denominational ceremony where nursing faculty pour warm water over the hands of the students, faculty, and staff while reciting a short blessing or prayer. This ceremony is performed at the beginning of the school year to symbolize the love and care that is provided by the hands of all who participate and revitalize the spirit of caring. Lord, bless these hands with skill and tenderness. Bless these hands with patience and love. Bless these hands, O God, and grant that from these fingers come the light of kindness, care, and wholeness. Lord, bless these hands with your healing touch to make the broken whole. May God bless the healing hands. May the gift of love and the renewal of the season be reflected in your care for patients.